a finished motion graphics ad, and I didn't open a single piece of design software to make it. I just described what I wanted using Higgsfield supercomputer, and the tool planned, designed, and rendered the whole thing. I like keeping everything in Higgsfield because it has all the newest image and video models in one place. But here's the part that actually matters. With supercomputer, you get to choose which AI brain is steering it. And right now, there are two worth talking about. Fable is Anthropic's most capable model, and it's the one people reach for when the job's complicated and the details actually matter. But Sol is OpenAI's brand new flagship, which costs about half as much to run, and it's currently beating Fable on the major coding agent benchmarks. So on paper, they're neck and neck. But to put that to the test, I gave both of them 4 jobs, starting with a premium product explainer, then a data explainer, a talking head video, and finally a high energy ad. And after seeing all of the results, you'll know exactly which brain to put in the driver's seat, depending on what you're making, because the thing that separated them wasn't what I expected at all. But more on that later. So let's start with the one that looks like the easy job, a clean, Apple-style product explainer for a Focus app that silences every notification on a device with one tap. We'll head into Higgsfield, open up Supercomputer, and switch our model over to Fable first. Then we'll give it the brief, and straight away it does something I didn't ask for. Instead of building anything, it stops and shows us a mood board of 4 completely different directions, requesting that we pick one before it commits to a single frame. So we'll take the soft, translucent liquid glass look on the top left, and that's when it gets to work, because behind the scenes, it's turning our brief into a full shot list. 6 panels with exact timings and locked colors. Then it builds from that, and what comes back is genuinely beautiful. But take a look at what it actually did with the idea. You see, our app is called Halo, so it built a translucent ring that forms around the device as everything goes quiet. The notifications are copper-colored dots pressing into the surface like raindrops. We didn't ask for any of that, but it read the name of our app and turned it into a metaphor. So now we'll switch models, give the exact same brief to Sol, and see how differently it thinks. This time, there's no mood board and no check-in. It writes itself a 4-panel reference sheet. Then it animates the whole ad straight from it. Sol's version is a completely different answer to the same question, and honestly, it's closer to what I asked for, because Sol built a proper phone floating in space, with notification cards labeled message, a calendar, and update buzzing around it. Then a finger comes in, taps a button that says silence all, and everything collapses into light. But watch the opening. That's the reference sheet sitting there in the finished video before the ad actually starts. And it's the difference between something we can publish and something we can't. So the first point goes to Fable. It stopped to let us steer the look, plus it kept its planning materials out of the final cut. But the gap between how these two work is about to get a lot more interesting. But the next job gives them something they can't design their way around. And in this second test, we'll create a punchy, Vox-style explainer about how streaming took over the music industry. We'll even include charts, dates, and percentages, which is exactly where AI videos usually fall apart. So first, we'll load Fable back up and hand it the brief. And this time, before it shows us anything, it asks us a question. It wants to know which 2 headline stats we want on screen, and it flat out refuses to make them up. That's a small thing that matters more than it sounds, because one invented figure does more damage than a bad animation ever will. So we'll pick our stats, choose our look from the mood board again, and let it build. What comes back renders cleanly and stays readable. But Fable picked up on something in the brief that we never actually spelled out. You see, a Vox-style explainer requires someone talking us through the numbers. So it wrote the script, generated the voice, and dropped it straight into the video with the music underneath.
Music used to be something you bought. 2010, CDs and downloads still rule. Then, 2015, streaming crosses the line and never looks back. Today, streaming is 84% of music revenue. The disc didn't die, it went digital.
Now let's see what Sol does with the same job. And immediately it takes a completely different route. Because instead of asking us for the stats, it asks where to get them, then researches the real figures itself. After that, it generates a video with far more on screen. 4 different years, every value plotted where it should be, and the source credited in the corner. This is genuinely a stronger piece of research than the one we got from Fable. But there's one problem. The video barely moves. It's just a series of slides, cutting from one to the next while a track plays. And for a brief that literally said motion graphics, movement was the one thing it had to get right. So this round goes to Fable, and it's not even close. But it's worth pointing out that the 2 models didn't agree on the statistics. One says streaming is 84% of US music revenue, the other says 82%. This is a good reminder that if you're publishing something with real data in it, you need to check the figures yourself before it ever goes out. So far, both of these jobs have been about design, but our next test needs something neither of them can draw, a video that has a presenter reading one line to the camera. So for round 3, we'll hand the brief to Fable first. And this time, there's no mood board or 6-panel breakdown. The model just gets straight to work. Then it hands back a presenter that looks entirely real, delivering our line word for word.
AI motion graphics used to take a whole design team and weeks of work. Now it's
The lighting's soft, the delivery's natural, and the caption in the corner spells her name correctly. But here's what I find interesting. After generating the video, Fable doesn't just hand it over. It tells us to check the lip sync on specific phrases and review the spelling on the caption, because those are the two places this type of video could have errors. Then it offers to regenerate the audio if the lip sync is off. That's the model doing quality control on itself before we've even pressed play. So let's give Sol the same job. Just like Fable, it skips the mood board, which tells us something about both of them. Neither one runs the same process every time. They read the job first and adjust according to the request. There's no visual world to create here, so neither of them wastes our time inventing one, and Sol's version is almost identical.
AI motion graphics used to take a whole design team and weeks of work.
Both cleared the realistic face without a single hiccup, which even a few months ago wasn't always a guarantee. So this round's a tie. And every gap we've seen so far came from the moments where we left room for interpretation. But what if we want something fast, loud, and built to stop somebody scrolling? So let's build a high-energy product ad for Test 4. It needs to hook someone in the first second, showcase 3 features, and end on the brand logo. We'll make the product a pair of wireless earbuds called Pulse. Starting with Fable, the mood board comes back straight away. So we'll take the dark neon tech direction and let it run. And Fable's ad is genuinely punchy. Plus, the product stays the same object the whole way through, which is harder than it sounds. But look in the top corner. There's a number sitting there that shouldn't be. That's a label from the planning sheet, and it's bled into the finished video, even though the instructions specifically said not to show it. It's small, but it shouldn't be there at all. Now let's give the same brief to Sol and see what it comes up with. It went the complete opposite way, with hot red and ink splashes, making all of it look handmade. Every feature is spelled correctly, and the product is identical in every shot, right down to the little logo on the buds. Honestly, shot for shot, this is the strongest work either model produced, but it falls apart in the final few seconds, because the entire storyboard sheet is sitting in the finished video as a shot. And that's the third time a piece of the plan has leaked into a finished video. It happened to both models, but Sol did it every time, and it got worse each round. So I'm calling this one a tie. Sol wins on looks, Fable wins on cleanliness, but both models made the same mistake, which leaves us with 4 tests and a result I didn't see coming. Fable won the product explainer and the data explainer. Then the 2 models matched each other on the talking head video. And the product ad ended in a tie as well, which still feels strange to say, because the better looking video and the biggest mistake both came from the same model. So the final score sits at 2 outright wins for Fable and a half a point each from the ties. But those numbers aren't the full story here, because the thing that separated these two wasn't quality, speed, or accuracy. You see, Sol made some of the best looking frames in this entire video, but it couldn't carry all of that across the finish line in one piece. And Fable's videos weren't always the prettiest things on screen, but its final result was work that we could actually publish. So if we need something clean and finished the first time, Fable's the brain to put in the driver's seat. But if we're chasing the best possible shot, and we've got an editor who can cut around a bad frame, Sol will hand us things Fable won't, which tells us the best model on paper isn't always the one you want on the job. Which is why it helps to use a tool like Higgsfield Supercomputer. It's the only place I've found that lets us swap the model behind the whole production like this. The link's in the description if you want to try it yourself. So now we know exactly which model to hand the work to. But knowing how to build an asset is one thing. Knowing what to post and when to post it is what actually moves a brand forward. And Supercomputer runs that side of things too. It studies our competitors, builds us a 30-day content calendar, and creates every post we need. Click the video on screen right now, and I'll show you exactly how it's done.